Hello pagers, and welcome back to another video. Today is a very exciting day because we are going to be setting up my 2022 reading bullet journal. I'm very excited because yearly setups are some of my favorite setups, and I'd love sharing them with you all. To start this video on a nice smelling note, we're going to light a lilac candle that I have. I've been saving it for this particular video. But yes, here is my new 2022 reading bullet journal. This is from Vinci Stationery, so it is the same company that I had last time. This is their new linen covered journal. So this is their cloth bound journals with this really pretty gold stamp. And on the front of the journal, it has the floral detailing over there. So I just thought this journal looked so pretty on the website, and I was going to choose a different company for this year, but I just love this journal so much. Plus the dots on the pages are a lot lighter than the previous journal that I had, which I kind of had a problem with because the dots were really prominent in my last journal, but this one looks a lot better. The paper is also a little smoother, which I don't really know how that's gonna be, but yes, here is the previous journal. Of course, you can see the dots are a lot more prominent in that journal than they are here. Here you can't even see the dots on camera. But yes, I really like how this looked. I generally try to use different companies each year so I can check out all the different bullet journal companies and then give you guys a list at the end of the year to see like, oh, what is my favorite bullet journal companies here in India. But I'll still be doing that video, I'll still be working on it, but I'm just going to stick with this journal for now because I really do like it. But yes, here we're just going to put this Ex Libris sticker, which I got in a book box. So since this bullet journal doesn't really have a nameplate or anything like that, I thought I'd just use this one. I don't really use Ex Libris stickers in my actual books since I don't know if I'm ever going to keep them. And since I have so many books, it just doesn't make sense for me to put Ex Libris stickers in every book because that would be a little expensive, but I do like putting them in my journals. So here I'm just taking off the sticker backing and I will stamp out my name. Next, we have the 2022 cover page. So unlike last time, I decided to do this in a one-page spread instead of a two-page spread like I did in last year's bullet journal. So I'm just writing down the title in my white jelly roll in a cursive font. I really like how this like written out 2020 looks like instead of the numbers, so I thought I'd just do that here. And I'm just going to put up some washi tape on the top so it kind of just looks like this paper has just been taped in. And I'm going to use some script washi tape in the corner. I also put in this flower sticker and stamped out the 2 on the cover page, but then we are just going to move on to the first official spread of 2022, which is going to be the anticipated releases. I really like having this in the front of the notebook because then I can just look every month and just see what books that I'm anticipating, whether they're coming out this month or anytime soon. But yes, we're just going to have some brown and some old book paper for the top, and I'm just going to write out the title in my white jelly roll in a block script on this black piece of paper and just cut that out. since I put that moon stamp in the corner, I wanted to put these like little stars here on the other side, and I decided that it looked like absolute crap, so I put on some washi tape to cover it. So thankfully it doesn't look too out of place. But then I'm just coloring out these like roughly colored in rectangles. Here I'm just going to write down the month's name in my white jelly roll. And since this paper is different from my last year's bullet journal, it is a lot smoother. So it did take a longer while for the ink to dry. And since it didn't dry properly, it kind of was mixing in with my jelly roll. Thankfully, you can't really see that here on camera. It actually looks pretty good. But it was a hard time to like write all these names down, because yeah, it just kept mixing in with the black ink. But yes, I just wrote down all the months names in these rectangles, and since things got a little like too crowded in my last year's journal, I decided to make this into like a two-page spread, so that way I have a lot more space to write down all of the books that I'm anticipating. So then we are going on to our next spread, which is our books read spread. So here I'm just going to write down all of the books that I read this month. We're just starting off with some book paper as our top border. And then, similar to the anticipated releases spread, I'm going to take some black paper and write down the title in my white jelly roll. Here I'm just drawing out the columns. So for this spread, I'd like to keep the title, and the skinny column is for the format, and then we have genre and author, and then the last skinny column is for the rating. So I actually forgot to actually title the columns here, but I will go back and do them with my white jelly roll. But next we have my reading statistics page, which has been one of my favorite spreads for my last 2 bullet journals. I've had this spread for a very long time, and I just like seeing how many types of books that I read, like how many ebooks I read and how many physical books I read and audiobooks I read. I also have another spread for my subscription statistics, so that is coming up next. But here I'm just writing down the title, and I'm just outlining these boxes, these brown paper boxes that I glued in, and inside I will write the months. Here I'm just drawing out these boxes. So since this is my statistics page, I will be tracking how many ebooks, audiobooks, and physical books I read. So I did try to like smush this in with my subscription statistics page, but it was just getting it too crowded, so I decided to just let them be their 2 separate pages. And here I'm just using my gray zebra fine liner and doing that for the headings. And then we're on to the next spread, but first we'll just put a little sneak peek of the subscription statistics. I didn't want to like film this whole thing because it's basically the same thing, but with different, materials, but here it is. And next we have our genre statistics. So this is actually a newer spread that I introduced like in the middle of last year. Since I read a lot of romance, I have a lot of like subgenres within romance that I want to track, but I didn't have a spread for it last year, so I had to like squeeze it in the middle. But here I'm just going to make a designated spread for it. And I'm just using this black paper for the heading of the columns because, like I said, my black pen was just not working out for me, and I just wanted something a little less messy. So here I'm just writing down the headers of the column. So first we have the genre, and then I'm just writing down a letter that signifies all the months of the year. And in the end we have a total. So this spread is actually really fun because throughout the year I go through these phases where like I'm reading a lot of mafia romances or I'm reading a lot of paranormal romances, and I like to see like the stats of that, being like, oh, what am I reading now, or like what is like capturing my attention, and like I like to see like those binges per se that are being represented on this spread. So I just really think the spread is really fun. So here we have some genres that I've written down, and next we are going for my YouTube goals. This is really fun. So I just started YouTube last year. I didn't think I would keep doing it, to be honest. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I'm actually feeling really inspired these days to make new content. I'm getting such lovely comments from you guys, my beautiful, beautiful subscribers. They're like, you know, I get so many nice comments here on YouTube, but also on my Instagram. People are DMing me and saying that they really like my content, and they're also starting bullet journaling. And to be honest, guys, that makes me so happy. You have no idea how happy that makes me. And like, you know, 2021, it's been a great year, but it's also been like, you know, really shitty sometimes. And like at those times when I read you guys' comments, it just makes me so, so happy. But yeah, I just wanted to make a special spread just to like, you know, track my growth on YouTube, and also to track how many times I'm posting on YouTube. So here we have my subscribers count. So currently we're at 250 subscribers, which is crazy. I love you guys. Thank you so much. But here I'm just going to track the growth of subscribers through these boxes. I'm gonna start from 300 and just increment it by 50, and it kind of just comes up to like 1450 because that's just how many boxes there are, and I didn't want to put any extra boxes. I kind of liked how it looked, so that's how it is. And on the side here, I'm actually going to track the amount of videos that I post. So I'm going to try and post like more videos throughout the year. These days I'm just kind of trying to focus on my journal videos and making sure my journal videos go out, and I'm not really like, you know, focusing on anything else. But I want that to change, and I want to post more videos. So here it is to track that. But with that spread done, we are going to go on the books series spread. I have started a lot of series throughout the years, and I kind of lose track of what I even read and what I'm in the middle of. So here is a book series to complete spread, and I actually made this spread last year as well in my last year's bullet journal, and I really liked the way it looked. So here it is. I will be making a separate video on my booktube to like list out all of the series that I'm in the middle of, but for now, like, this is just how it is. So here we have a little table here. It might not make sense right now, but in the end clip you'll see it filled out, and maybe then it'll make more sense. So basically you write the title of your book and you just color in how many boxes of books that you completed, and just leave the boxes that are not done yet. These boxes with little stars mean that the books haven't been released yet. Going on to our next spread, which is my books hauled spread. So I completely underestimated my book hauling capabilities last year, and I left some space and I totally filled that up. So I'm going to leave a little bit more space this year, but I'm also hoping that I don't buy that many books anymore. I feel like last year I was just feeling really sad and I just bought a bunch of books that I didn't even read. So I'm going to try and be more mindful and use my Kindle more, and hopefully I don't buy too many books this year. And last but not least is my TBR spreads. So here is my physical TBR spreads. Here we have contemporary and miscellaneous. Miscellaneous just basically means anything that's not romance. So basically it could be like all of my thriller books that I have yet to read, or my horror books or graphic novels or things like that. Next we have my historical TBR spread. I actually have so many physical historical romances that I need to get to. But what I like about these spreads here is that I actually try to like theme these spreads over the genres. So I kind of tried to make this historical spread a little bit vintage, and I actually didn't do this last year. Last year I just wrote down historical and urban fantasy and all that stuff, and I didn't do any decoration, but I'm kind of glad I did for this one. So here is my urban fantasy TBR with a little bit of blacked out paper and little stars in the corner. This is very similar to my October spreads that I did in 2021. And of course, last but not least, we have fantasy. I do have quite a bit of fantasy books that I have to get to. I've been in such a fantasy slump in 2021. Hopefully that'll be over by 2022 and I can get back into it, because my golly, I have so many books that I have to read that are fantasy romances. So that is it for all the spreads, you guys. We're just gonna go back and do a quick flip through of all the spreads that I did. Let me know which spread is your favorite. For me personally, I think I really love my subscription stats page, but I also love the, the physical TBR spreads as well. I think those were like really fun and cute, like a last minute thing that I did. But yeah, let me know how you guys are doing, and if you are also having a reading journal this year. Are you starting one? I got so many DMs from you guys saying that you're gonna start a reading journal this year, and that makes me so happy. I'm also going to be doing a actual bullet journal, like a bullet journal planner at some point. I don't think I'm gonna film it. I think it's going to be very basic. I might, put up some stories about it on my Instagram, but I don't think I'm gonna film it unless you guys want me to, of course. But yeah, let me know what you think of these spreads and which one was your favorite and what you guys want to see from my channel. Like, I'm trying to cater to what you guys want to see and make things according to that. But again, thank you so much for the 250 subscribers. I love every single one of you. You guys make me so happy, and I really hope you have a wonderful day. Bye bye, guys.